I will die on that hill.
I absolutely love Miley Cyrus.
You have failed this.
Love this shit.
The sickest night ever. Is this? What are we doing?
No. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Call Guys podcast. I'm Gunner, also known as Chico Noise, 3-time podcast host, lover of flaming hot, pretty much anything. And yes, I am afraid of heights.
Well, it's such a long fall for you, brother.
Oh, maybe that's why I'm afraid of heights. Maybe I'm just too short. I mean, I'm average height, right? A 5'6".
No,
average
man,
height?
you're short. You're
Okay,
short.
I'm short.
You're short.
What's
but then
average?
again, I don't know my height.
Probably like 5'8", 5'9", more than likely.
No, I think for a guy, I think it's like 5'11", maybe.
Yeah, I'm short.
You're really short, brother. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I've known it my whole life. It's not like every time I see a tall person, I gotta go like this, look straight up at them. Every time I see you,
It's not that bad.
Hey,
It's
Colton.
not that bad.
hey Colton. No, it really isn't that bad. Speaking of, so that is probably my one real fear though, is like
heights?
when you're up really high and you look down, like you get that like your stomach, it just goes right to your stomach. Do you
So
have any? Do you have any?
I've had that happen. Like, I don't know what it is. Roller coasters. I love roller coasters for some reason. I just can't do them anymore, and I don't know why. I miss that. But when I went to Ireland and we went to the Cliffs of Moher, it's beautiful on the northern. I believe it's on the northern side of Ireland, and it's absolutely gorgeous there. I mean, it's beautiful. Bree and I, one of our pictures, we have a picture somewhere, I think on Facebook, of us on the cliffs, and it's a really good picture. But I've never really been afraid of heights. I'll walk on roofs. I'll get on ladders, climb trees. That stuff doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, I got to those cliffs and I got about 5 feet away, and I looked over I looked like over an edge close enough, and I was like, oh no. And then my body just like stiff, and
Slowly back up.
yeah, I kept my hands in my pocket. I don't know what it was going to do, but my hands were in my pockets the entire time. And I walked. I did not get close to that edge at all. Bree got to the edge and looked down, and I was like, no. My sisters did it, and I just couldn't do it. I don't know what it was, but it's beautiful. Now, I would say, Gunner, you should go. Just don't get close to the edge.
I won't walk close to the edge.
But it's absolutely gorgeous.
I mean, I've done roller coasters.
Yeah, I have no problems with roller coasters.
I hate roller coasters. I can't do them. I don't enjoy them. I mean, they're like the ones that are like stationary, like 3D ones or 4D. Like that's fine. Like I can do the movements and all that. It's when you get up high, and they make you.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I just like my body physically, like I can't do it anymore, and I don't know why. If anybody who's listening to this podcast, this episode, knows why that's something,
let us know.
Email us at thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com, because I would love to know.
There you go. Send us an email. Let us know why that is a thing.
Yeah, but I mean, outside of that, no, I don't really have. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the dark.
Okay.
I think that's something I get from my dad, because my dad was afraid of the dark. And
I'm not really afraid of the dark. I don't have any other really big fears. Like I've never been stung by like a bee or a hornet or a wasp. So it kind of scares me to think like, what if I'm like super allergic and I've just been lucky?
Just don't know.
I've just been lucky. And then the one time I get stung, I'm gonna swell up and die because I don't know. Like,
well, I've been stung by those, and they're not fun.
I know they're not gonna be fun, but I just don't want it to happen.
Don't blame you.
But heights is my main one. I've done like when it was still the Sears Tower, or what is it now, the Willis Tower or whatever in Chicago. Where they had the glass floor where you can walk out.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. I don't think I could do that.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it's still like scary to walk out. And those semis driving by look like ants crawling across.
Oh my gosh.
Like they look tiny. and you're way up there in the sky, and you're just like looking straight down. Yeah, it's cool,
I like
but it's
flying. Do you,
it's good.
do you
Oh
have
yeah, I
you ever
don't mind flying. I don't mind flying.
flying's down? Okay.
Yeah, I
I don't know. But
the
ever since those cliffs, I've been like, my wife wants to go do that thing in Chicago, and I'm like, I don't know how I do because I didn't. I barely did
you know
well.
what
I barely did well in the cliffs.
it's open glass. You don't have to stand on it. Just look out from there. It's a great view. You get to see all of Lake Michigan and all that. It's pretty cool up there. So it's been years since I've done that. I mean,
Jeez,
I was in high school. That's probably like my sophomore year of high school.
dang,
Yeah.
it's
So
been there for that long.
yeah, yeah,
Wow,
a
I didn't know that.
long, long time. Now the other part of that intro is that I love like spicy chips.
Mm-hmm.
And that was another question I had for you. Is do you like just spicy things in general? Are you a spicy guy?
Yeah, for the most part, I like it. Do like a little bit of spice on chips, my sushi, burgers.
Okay.
I mean, as long as it's not over the top. I mean, as long as it's a good side and not like the main condiment to something, I'll be
Yeah.
okay with it.
So you wouldn't do like the hot one sauces.
No, oh heck no, 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 no. I don't. I mean, I barely venture that far on beat up wings
Oh really?
or
Dude,
yeah.
I go I've been pretty far up. I've done the wall at Wings, but I've never done like the hottest ones at B Dubs. Like I
Um,
go to medium or hot, and that's where I stop because
yeah,
even medium burns, man.
yeah. Mediums are burnt. That's where I stop. I stop at medium,
Yeah.
and I'm like, there ain't no way this is medium. Like, I think somebody in the back's making a joke.
Yeah, I think they just dip the wings in the hot sauce and just say, "Yeah, it's
Here's your medium,
medium.
sir.
Don't be a wimp. Just eat the
Yeah,
hot sauce." Pretty much.
but yeah, I mean, yeah, I do like spice on stuff.
Yeah, me
So
too. I do. I love spicy food. Like jalapenos, habaneros. I can do. You get much past habaneros though, and I'm not. I can't really do it.
yeah.
The burn on the way in's okay. It's the burn on the way out that's not fun at all.
That's never fun.
Never,
It's never
ever,
fun.
ever. So, how was your week? You have a good week?
Dude, man, I survived the monsoons up here in the
Oh
fort.
yeah, yeah,
Had a sump pump go out, so I was up till the wee hours of the morning fixing that.
yeah, yeah. So the recording of this episode is actually about the time where we're having a lot of rain here in Indiana for what is quote unquote a drought year, and we got a lot of rain here in a week, and man, it
We're getting
was
more too.
yeah, it's just gonna keep coming, which isn't a bad thing, but
I mean, we need it, but why do we got to get all like 15 inches in like 4 hours?
yeah, yeah, exactly. It came down that one night. We lost power from 2:45 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. and there were trees down all over the place, man. It was just it was wild.
Okay, so on my house, you know how we got the curb, we got the street and the curb and then into the yard?
Yeah,
I had water in the front part of my yard.
and that's on a hill, right? That
Yeah.
goes down.
Yeah.
Nice. That's a lot of
And then
water.
in my backyard, I got that creek in the backyard.
Yep.
Have you ever seen that creek? It's barely got any
It
water in
never
it.
has water. Never has
It
water.
was almost into my backyard.
Dang.
Yeah.
You're getting all the runoff.
Dude, it sucked, dude. It was bad. It was not a fun. It was not a fun prepping and cleaning hour. I mean, thankfully, I'm glad where I work. I do what I do because
Yeah.
I was able to just to go to the shop and get the stuff I need and get home
Yeah.
as quick as I can and fix it.
Yeah, exactly. That is good. You're on top of it before it spread into the rest of the basement or the rest of the house.
Oh
So,
my gosh, I would have been so sad
yeah.
because this basement, it's a finished basement,
Yeah.
but my mechanical room is not finished, so it's just a cement walls and
Well,
floors and
that's where the sump pump is too, right? So, I mean,
yeah. And I got two pits, so
you
only
don't have a
one of the
backup?
pumps stopped.
You don't have a
What?
backup battery on those?
No. So what happened essentially? So okay, so there's a piggyback float on it,
Mhm.
which you plug it in to where you plug in your main pump. And so then that way when that flips up, that kicks your pump on. instead of using the float that's on the pump.
Gotcha.
And I thought that might be bad. Well, it turns out it wasn't bad. And when I checked that, I saw oil in the pit, and I heard my motor on the pump humming, which isn't good, especially if nothing's going on.
Yeah.
So that just told me that something, a bearing or something, it seized, and that pump's not going to work no matter how much you will it to work. So
yeah, listeners, if you have any questions about your HVAC needs or even your sump pump, Fluky and Supply, give them a call. Colton will give you all the tips and tricks on how to fix everything that needs to be fixed.
yeah,
Little plug, and he's wearing a hat.
I also just got my EPA license too, so now I can legally work on air conditioning units.
Dang.
And handle refrigerant, which is the big thing, is what the EPA wants. They want people who have this card and say they took a test to handle to be able to handle refrigerants.
Gotcha.
So
well, that's
I
good.
just got that. So now you know a guy.
Yeah, know a guy. We all know a guy. All you listeners out there, that you all know a guy now. You have no excuse.
Yes.
You need refrigerant, he can handle it.
Oh, that's good. How about your week, buddy? How'd you guys do?
Not bad. Yeah, this is weird. Colton and I we both have vacations coming up, so we've been recording episodes as we can to get them released. That way we're not missing weeks. That way we can keep ourselves happy, hopefully keep all of you guys out there happy. That way you're still getting weekly content. So if it sounds like we're talking about something that's happened a month ago, it's because we are. We'll try to keep it as up to date as possible, but you never know what's going to happen in a month.
That's true.
So,
that's true.
It hasn't been a bad week. Hasn't been a whole lot going on. Sarah had surgery today, and that went well. So I'm very, very happy for that. It's been kind of a ride with her back. I know we've been talking about it for, it seems like, the beginning of time at this point. Even since the first episode of The Call Guys, I think we talked about Sarah's back at one point. Like, she's got some back problems, and so she had kidney stone surgery today. So she got that pummeled and removed for the most part. I don't know how all that actually works. So she's
Sarah Mills Golden. I hope you feel better.
Yeah, me too. So that was kind of, take her into the hospital in the morning, and I went to work, and I kind of felt bad that I actually went to work, and I was like, maybe I should have stayed. And I'm like sitting there at work, just like waiting. And it was, I took her in at 5:30. It was almost noon before I heard anything back. So it's like, okay, she's good. We're all good. And then she went back. Her boss picked her up and took her back to her office, where she just kind of chilled for a little bit. And then I picked her up after work. So,
well, that's nice.
And now she's sleeping. So
good. I hope she gets that figured out. I feel sorry that she's got to go through that stuff.
Yeah, and she's at the point where we're going to Disney for our vacation, and she wants to be able to walk and enjoy it and not have to be in pain the whole time.
Oh yeah.
When we went to Key West, that was the thing. She was in such pain, and we walked everywhere, and it just was killing her. So hopefully this fixes most of the problem. If it doesn't, we have another thing planned here in a couple of weeks for her to do, and hopefully that fixes it. So
yeah, man, hopefully that does get taken care of.
But other than that, it's been a good week. Planning to go back to PA here in a couple of weeks again and do some more work and get some more stuff done. And yeah, it's exciting stuff. I'm excited to go back. Actually, I want to mention that, and I know this is a little further on and into whatever, but Dwayne, if you're listening, I want to thank you. So, Colton, remember the story I told back in the Obi-Wan episode about the plant manager in Pennsylvania saying, "Oh, what the hell is a podcast?"
Yeah.
Well, he knew what a podcast was.
Okay, well, that's
good.
He
told me this, and then he started listening to the Call Guys. So,
oh, that's awesome.
So it's funny that he was texting me one night, and was like, "Hey, I'm really liking it. It's good stuff." And then he actually called me today, and we were talking about something that needed to be ordered for PA, and he's like, "So what's next week's episode about?"
So, dude, I went out. I had to go out with my boss to go do something, and I got pestered by this person about what we were recording. You know who that
Really?
was?
Who?
Yeah, your mom. I went to the shop and I was talking to your mom, and I actually had my boss with me, like the owner boss,
Yeah.
and we were doing something, and he brings me along just so I could talk to your mom about stuff. So
Mom,
yeah,
Mom, thanks for keeping Colton in line. That's
we
right.
love you, Bobby. We
Yeah.
really do.
Yeah, we do. We do.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see her this weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. That'll be
You know what I want to do? I want her to take William around the garden there, like the last time, and see how that goes, because
yeah. In the water, in the waterfall.
he is going to be all over that place.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be fun. What yeah, we'll talk about that after the
Yeah, I was gonna
recording,
say
but
we gotta get that
yeah.
figured out.
So there are a couple things that I do want to talk about before we get into what we are going to talk about today. One
Hit
of
him
those
up, hit
things,
him up, hit
one of
him
the
up.
things will be the question of the podcast, but that'll be after I do some yard work here with
Oh gosh.
So, um, we've mentioned all these things a couple times. Just want to hit on them again, just to keep you guys excited on what's going to be coming up with the call guys. Conrad John, who is my buddy from Anderson, that moved out to California and is now a rapper. He's actually been rapping since he was very young, which is pretty cool to see some of his posts that he has that are like backlogged to, I don't know, probably 14 to 16, somewhere in there. So he is actually going to come on and do an interview with us here in a few months. And we're going to sit down and talk to him about his career and how he got into rapping and just how he's doing, and just kind of chat with him a little bit, which I think will be super cool. And um, he's a really cool guy, really laid back, really, chill. And I think he'll be fun to talk to. I think music wise, we all kind of have similar taste in music. I think he's not just into rap. He likes a lot of a lot of different things too. So I mean, it'll be cool to sit down and talk to him. And I hope you're excited for that, because I'm excited for you to meet him. He's kind of a fun guy to hang out with. So
Yeah, I am excited for that.
yeah. The other one is the Beer 30 episode, which we actually talked about a few weeks ago. That'll be actually, I think there's going to be 5 of us on that episode. It's going to be you and me, Jared, Lucas, and Darren. And we're going to sit down, crack open a bucket of beers, and wrap some topics around the top, and just go around
There's the 5th.
and talk about it. So
I forgot to count myself.
oh yeah, count yourself. You are the 5th. You always got to count yourself. And then finally, the 50/50 episode, The Emperor Strikes Back, that'll be in February, and that is the Emperor's 50th birthday bash on the Call Guys podcast. So I think that'll be fun. And I hope you all listen to the Murdnerds crossover episode, which came out a few weeks ago. I think that not being recorded yet is going to be a really fun episode.
I'm excited. I'm really hoping that is as fun as what I'm think it's going to be, and I hope everybody enjoys that one.
Yeah. We're like inceptioning ourselves right now.
I know we are. We're like seeing into the future.
We gotta stop. Okay. So, Colton,
Give him the kick.
the question of the podcast.
Oh, what you got?
This one's a big one. I feel like
my.
everybody has an answer. So when you hear this question, think of your answer. Send it over to thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com. Comment it on Facebook @thecallguyspod, and let us know what you think or what your answer is.
Okay, hit me with it.
Everybody has an answer to this question.
Okay.
What is your biggest pet peeve?
I have no idea.
Biggest pet peeve, Colton.
Biggest pet peeve.
Yes. I think I know what yours is. Because I talk to you when you drive all the time. Colton likes to rage when he drives.
Oh my, I'm telling you, I keep a 2x2 key to the city under my front seat. And if you don't know what the key to the city is, it's a crowbar. I haven't met a door I can't get through yet. Yeah, I think actually, I think it was your bachelor party. Derek could actually probably, because Darren was with me. There was some guy in the fort driving, not using a turn signal and just in and out of
Oh
every
yeah.
lane. Oh, I gave Darren that crowbar and I said, "Don't give this back to me. I am getting ready to get out of the car, get out of this truck, and
I
talk to this
remember
dude."
that. I think we were following you to downtown, maybe.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think we're
he was like,
yeah.
"Oh yeah,
I think we're going. I think we were going to BJ's,
yeah, yep."
and I was like, "Darren, you got to take this thing because I am getting ready to use it, and that's not going to be a
Mm.
that's deadly weapon. That's a big charge."
I do. I remember following you and being like, "Something
I
bad's about to
was
happen."
I was hot. I was ready to hop out. I was wishing upon a star he got out of that car.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, bad drivers. Yeah.
I think that is one of your biggest ones, at least. At least
Yeah.
how you talk when you drive.
Yeah. I would say yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. I would say man, that's a good one. I can't think of one right now at the top of my head
Yeah.
cuz I'm working on a lot of that anger stuff, but that's the one, that's the toughest one I have controlling, like working on like in the moment.
Yeah. So
So, I
I
mean,
think so. I think my two are because I have two that I thought of when I thought of the question, and I think my two are also ones that people have too. The first one is people stopping in the middle of the aisle or leaving their carts in the middle of the aisle at the grocery store.
mm,
It's like one of those things, like you could literally scoot it over or stand over to the side and look on this side of the aisle or look at what's right in front of you, but you decide you got to stop in the dead center to look 6 feet that way to try to decide what you want off the rack when you could have just pulled over to it.
tell him, tell him,
That's
tell
right.
him.
You don't do it. Don't do it.
I see the smoke coming off that mic.
Yeah. No, that's one of those things, like, and like sometimes, like, if I unconsciously do that, I notice and I pull my cart back to the side. Like, I know I'm doing it. Like, these people just don't notice. They just park it, and like sometimes they park it and walk away. Like, it's
Yeah.
like, what
They're
you
the only ones in the store.
yeah, that's what they think. So if you're one of those
Yeah.
people, I love you. Thank you for listening to Call Guys podcast. But don't park your don't park
Just don't park. Just don't do that. Don't be that
yeah,
guy
don't park
or
in the
like
middle of the
gal.
aisle.
Don't be that guy or gal.
Yeah. Yeah. But thanks for listening. The other one, and this has been a big one my whole life.
Oh.
Ever since I've found a love for movies, don't talk during the movie
Oh
at the movie
yeah.
theater. Don't
Oh
do
my.
it. Just don't do it.
Got a
If you,
great.
I'm talking to you out there in podcast land. Don't talk when you're in the theater while the movie's playing. You can talk during the
Previews.
previews.
Yep. Yep.
You can talk during the credits. You can talk the pre-movie. I don't care. Just don't talk during the movie.
Oh
you.
my. The first experience I ever had with that, my uncle took me to go see Van Helsing up in South Bend, I think. It was either South Bend or Plymouth. I think it was South Bend. And it was like the first 5 minutes into it. And it has the opening scene of Frankenstein and all
Yeah.
that. And there are these kids talking. Like,
Mm.
not just like talking, but like I'm in the back of the theater, they're in the front of the theater, and you can hear the conversation.
Yeah. No, thank you.
And some dude stands up and just yells, "Hey kids, shut the hell up." Yeah. I just lost it. And my uncle just starts laughing.
Start clapping. Dude, no, I think the last couple movies we've seen, and when we went and saw Top Gun, Maverick, I'm sitting there and the guys behind me are talking the whole movie. And it's like one of those things, it's like a thing. Like, do you turn around and say, "Hey guys," or you just let it go? And most of the time I just let it go because I'm not the confrontational type of person that would just
No, you're not.
turn around and go off on somebody for talking during a movie. But I'm doing it on the Call Guys podcast.
That's right.
This microphone, it's my soapbox. I'm about to stand on it and say, don't talk during a movie.
That's right. Tell them. Get them.
Now, if
Get
you're
them.
at home, if you're at home, go for it. If you don't want to pay attention, some of us are there to review this movie on a podcast, man.
That's right. Some of us are out there doing this for the tens of views.
Okay. So I'm gonna fold up my soapbox.
Wow.
I'm gonna put it back
Wow.
up
That
here.
was real anger. I know the podcast. I know the Call Guys listeners are usually used to my rants and my raging, but what you just listened there from Chico Noise there, that was his 10,
Yeah, that wasn't now.
okay?
You've never seen my 10.
Um
You'll never see my 10.
so I'm just saying for the people out there, just beware.
You know,
That's Gunner angry.
I go back and read my notes, and they don't seem angry.
They don't seem angry.
There are some capital letters in there, but
Oh, that's great.
so speaking of movies,
Segway.
what are we going to talk about today, Colton?
I think we're going to talk about our most rewatchable. Yeah,
Yes.
most rewatchable movies. Our favorite rewatchable movies.
Yes, our top 5 most rewatchable movies.
And I
Now-
believe we do have some clarifications for what qualifies a rewatchable movie, even
Yes.
though it's kind of in the name.
Yeah. So I think what Colton and I have decided for rewatchable movies that it's something that you can turn on and watch, whether it's in the background or you're actually watching it, but you can do it anytime. It's a movie that you can watch anytime. Is that kind of what we thought we were talking?
Yeah. When like if you see it on TV Guide and
Yeah.
on
You're
you
gonna
see it
flip
on the guide and you flip it on, you're like, oh, you're gonna watch this for 30-40 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. So the background on where the word rewatchable comes from, to me, because if you actually look it up, rewatchable is not a word. Rewatchable is not a word in the dictionary.
Whoa, is that a hill you're willing to die on?
I don't know if I'm gonna die on that hill. If anybody wants to send an email to the Call Guys podcast and correct me and say rewatchable is a word, I don't think it's a word. So, watch. I don't even know if watchable, I guess, is a word. We use it, so maybe it is in the dictionary. I don't know. But anytime I type it in, I get the red line underneath that tells me it's not a word.
Oh, okay.
So the background of this idea is I used to listen to a podcast back when I was in college called The Rewatchables. And what these guys did is they would pick a movie, an episode, and they would review this movie and explain why it is such a great movie. And it's a really cool podcast. And if you get a chance, they're on any of your podcast services. I'm going to do a plug for another podcast because we love everybody and we want
That's what we
everybody to
do.
listen to everybody and love everybody else. So
ELE.
check out the Rewatchables podcast. They review movies. They talk about anything that is good enough to be declared as a rewatchable movie. And that's kind of where this idea came from, because I was like, there are movies that I rewatch just for the hell of it. I mean, there's tons of them out there. Just flip them on because it sounds like it'd be good to watch. And I've watched it 100 times, but I'll watch it again and I'll enjoy it. So some stipulation. I did do some research today, and I told Colton this earlier, is that I did some research on what a rewatchable movie is, and it is something that has a compelling story, is funny, has quotable moments and lines, has compelling characters, and or has a good ending, a good finale. So, Colton, we're gonna do this the official Call Guys way. 5, 4, 3, 2. Honorable mentions. 1. Would you like to start, sir?
Yeah, I can start. I'm gonna go with some Will Ferrell type movies.
Oh,
I just dropped one there a little bit ago. A little ELE. Little
Okay.
Everybody Love Everybody.
okay.
Semi-pro.
Uh-huh.
I think of Step Brothers. I think of the Anchorman movies.
Mhm.
Will Ferrell is just one of those guys. He just in most of the roles he touches, it turns into comedic gold.
Yeah, which is crazy because it really does. Like, I can't think of. I mean, I'm sure there are Will Ferrell movies out there that are like, yeah, it's okay. But the three you just mentioned are great movies.
Yeah. And I know I mentioned those a lot with friends. I mean, Semi Pro is just
Quotable.
yeah, they're all quotable.
Oh yeah. Did we just become best friends?
I think one of the best parts about the Will Ferrell movies is watching the extended scenes or the deleted scenes or the bloopers or
Yeah.
anything like that. It's just everything he just comes up with is just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, for sure. Have you ever watched his rent money video
Uh-uh.
with his daughter? No. Okay, I'll have to send it to you. It's from a long time ago when she was
Oh
little.
gosh.
It is hilarious. I will send it to you so you
Okay.
can watch it.
But yeah, I In Between Two Ferns,
Yep.
even though it's a short little I would call it a cameo in it.
Yeah.
A short role in it. He's just I don't know what it is about him, but he just always makes me laugh. He always seems to have some sort of like iconic movie when I was growing up that everybody's like, "Hey, did you see the new Will Ferrell movie?
So
Hey, did you see
you're
this?"
pretty much saying that pretty much any Will Ferrell movie is rewatchable.
Oh, man. Maybe take out Bewitched.
Okay. Yeah. I mean that's fine. I just like I could think of some. Yeah. I don't know that every one, but I would say that a lot of his
I would say
SNL sketches are
Oh
rewatchable.
my gosh.
Harry Carey, dude, I could watch Harry Carey all day. Harry Carey here.
Oh my
If the
gosh.
moon were made out of green cheese, would you eat it? I would. I'd go back for seconds.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, his SNL stuff was good. Yeah, he needs more cowbell always.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh man, the cheerleading tryout.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
something Darren and I would do a lot in college. We would just pull up like an actor on SNL and just watch like a compilation of all their sketches or
Oh
whatever.
nice.
So Will Ferrell was one of those that you could just he had so many of them and you could watch them. But
Night at the Roxbury.
is there one Will Ferrell movie that you think would be the most rewatchable?
To me, right now, I think I've rewatched Semi Pro. I couldn't tell you how many times.
Yeah.
Learn English, Vakitis.
And that was in your honorable mentions on the top 5 sports films.
I know.
So
It's just so stupid.
yeah. But
We needed a
good
we
stupid.
yeah, we needed a point guard, they needed a washing machine.
Yeah. I would agree.
Oh,
I would agree that
it
Will
came
Ferrell
to
has some killer
it
movies.
came to me. It's called The Alley-Oop.
Alley-oop. Yeah. Right on.
2.5 steps. 2.5 steps.
Uh,
I mean, there's just I could quote the movie. I just it's fourth place. Mega Bowl.
that's good stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh
I need
yeah.
to go back and rewatch it too.
Oh man.
Maybe I should. Maybe I'll do that.
It's downtown funky stuff Malone.
Yeah.
What's your number 5, brother?
So my number 5 is actually in my top 10 movies. It's
Oh
actually
my.
on my wall.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, he's trying to do
covered. It's covered because it's right here.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
All of them? Do you have a favorite one?
I'm gonna go with the first one. I do love the second one. The Back to the Future, 1985. Michael J. Fox is Marty McFly. Christopher Lloyd is Doc Brown, and then Leah Thompson, who has become a huge actress, in now like modern day. She's huge as Lorraine. It's in my top 10 because it's a classic. It's always been in my top 10 movies, and I don't think it's one of those that I could ever drop out of my top 10 to replace with anything,
Oh
because it's
wow.
one of those that I've watched so many times. And if it is on TV, I'm gonna flip it on and watch it, whether it's the first, second, or third. I enjoy them all, and I think I've always enjoyed all three of them. And I think there's one big reason I do enjoy Back to the Future, and I don't know if you know what that is, but it's a little thing called time travel. And
Who could have ever guessed it?
I've just, yeah, I don't know. It's always been one of those movies that has, I watched it with my dad. I watched it by myself. I watched it with Darren. I watched it with Sarah, and
Haven't
Sarah
watched it
loves
with
them.
me.
I have not watched them with Colton. Maybe Colton and I should watch Back to the Future.
I'll bring William.
Yeah, but I love the second one because of how it works. Like, I love the fact that they did the whole going back to the exact same moment that they went back to. That is cool. That is just an interesting take on time travel, is the fact that you're going back somewhere that you've already been to try to fix something, but you can't be seen by your other self. And I think the story overall in all three movies is great. The Wild West one I enjoy, but I don't know that it's
It's
a
definitely the
rewatchable.
subpar. It's definitely the
Yeah,
subpar one of
yeah,
the three.
for sure. But it has so many quotable lines. I mean, man, that's heavy, Doc. like like I don't even know. There's so many of them. It's just hard to even like think of any of them. And you have the DeLorean, which is just one of those things that has become a pop culture icon. It's
Yep.
everybody has a DeLorean. The call guys fuel the DeLorean. It's like the DeLorean always keeps coming back. And then you got 1.21 gigawatts.
Gigawatts.
What the hell's a gigawatt? So I don't know. I've always enjoyed it. I've always loved Back to the Future. It's in my top 5 because it really is a movie that I can just watch, no matter if it's the first, second, or third. I'll watch any of them that are on. I might not enjoy the third one as much, but I'll still watch it. It's a cool
Yeah.
Western.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
Yeah, you're right. There are much cooler Westerns out there.
There's a lot better Westerns.
It's a Western.
Oh gosh, I don't know if I go that far.
It's a Western with a time machine. What more can I give you, Colton? Oh yeah.
Is that you, John Wayne?
And that's the other cool thing too, is they use like stuff like that, where they're using like names from
What they use? Billy? Was they use Billy the Kid in that one?
No, I
Who'd
don't
they
think they used Billy the
use?
Kid. I don't remember what Biff's name was. What was Marty's name when he went out there? I don't remember.
Clint Eastwood or something like that.
Oh,
I thought it was something
Clint.
Eastwood.
Yeah, I think it probably was. Yeah, I think you're right. I need to go back and watch it. Once again, I can watch the first two, be happy, skip the third one, never even think about it.
You're absolutely right.
So, all right, Colton, number 4.
Oh man, number 4 for me is I don't know how many movies this group did together. I wish I'd do more. And that is The Lonely Island. Hot Rod. I love Hot Rod.
I do too.
It is that movie to me. My favorite line is it doesn't matter. I'll just come up to somebody like, you like what you see? You like what you see? And I'll just keep going. And they're like, what are you doing?
Dude, I have not watched it in such a long time, but yeah, I just remember laughing so hard at that movie because it's just so dumb but so funny.
Exactly. It's so stupid. It's funny.
Yeah. Yeah. 100% agree.
Heart of a Dolphin. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I Andy Samberg, gosh, I can't think of his brother he's in Lonely Island too.
Yeah, I don't know what his name is.
I don't know what it takes to get those guys to do a movie again, but I wish they would do some movies again.
Now see, I like Andy Samberg as an actor. He's really not bad, and I love everything he's done on SNL, and I love everything he's done with Adam Sandler. And I think that there's a lot of potential in Andy Samberg, and you look at the stuff that he's done on SNL with Justin Timberlake.
Oh yeah, every
And
song he turns into is
it's gold.
almost instant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody knows his SNL songs.
Exactly. All the trilogy of um with Mother Lover and Dick in a Box and and Three Way with Lady
Three-way.
Gaga.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are such great songs. Like they do so well. And yeah, Andy Samberg, props, man. If you ever hear the call, guys, props to you, Andy Samberg.
Yes.
Raise my beer to you.
Yes. So yeah, that I don't know that it's got Danny McBride.
Mhm.
It's got another guy from SNL who just got off a couple years ago. Plays Barry in HBO. I can't think of his name. Tall, slender dude.
Yeah.
Who else? Oh, the lady in it. It's I want to say it's Amy Adams, but I know it's not Amy Adams.
I don't remember
That's gonna bug me.
where they're gonna be feeling the DeLorean now.
I know. I can hear him right now. Hey, you idiot!
Yeah. Feel that DeLorean.
Yeah,
Um
yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. And I didn't think about Hot Rod, but yeah, it's if you want to sit down and laugh.
Jeez, I
it's
can't say her
movie.
name. Isla Fisher.
Isla Fisher.
Isla Fisher.
Isla.
She plays Henley and Now You See Me.
Oh,
In the
okay.
first one.
Oh yeah.
She's Henley.
Yeah,
She in the first one.
That's right.
And she's I think she turns out to be she's the girlfriend of I think it's Vince Vaughn in Wedding Crashers.
Dang. Put that in my honorable mentions list because I love Wedding Crashers.
Ah, I think that's I think it's funny, but it's good in doses.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
It's got a Meet the Fockers vibe to it.
Yeah, I could see that.
Similar, very similar.
I could see that.
But that's another one. If it's on TV, I'm gonna turn on and watch it.
Oh my! Could it be your number 4?
No, it's not.
Oh, what could your number 4 then be?
My number 4 is a movie that Sarah introduced me to when we first started dating. And for some reason, it came out in 1987, so it's an older movie. We actually dressed as two characters from this movie for a wedding. Scott and Beth's wedding. They did book characters, and this movie is based off the book. It is The Princess Bride.
That's it.
Yep. And I it's one of those I never watched because I never thought I'd like it. And then when she made me watch it, I was like, yeah, it's good. And when it's on,
my father prepared to die.
I am Inigo Montoya.
Inigo Montoya.
So now, like, if it's on, I'm gonna watch it because it is a great movie. Like, it actually
is. It's a cheesy princess movie, and I think that's what they were going for back in the day.
Yeah. Just got some great one-liners, and of course, my dad opened up our wedding with a line from Marriage. What brings us together today. So,
I'm working on that.
Yeah, I like it. So yeah, it's one of those that's up there. It's up there at my number 4 because I do have some others in here that are definitely more rewatchable, but I really enjoy The Princess Bride, and I'm happy Sarah made me watch it because I'd probably watch it if it was on TV. I'd pull it up, but I would at least watch it once a year.
Okay.
I call that rewatchable. Sure.
I would say so.
It's quotable. There's a lot of great one-liners in that movie. And yeah, it's enjoyable. So
that's a good movie. I like that. It's a real good movie.
Number 3.
I'm gonna have to go with the vacation movies.
Oh,
Chevy Chase's vacation movies.
Okay.
Regular Vacation, European Vacation, Vegas Vacation.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite is Vegas Vacation.
Oh, 100%.
Yep.
I do like Christmas Vacation, but like that's a Christmas
Vacation. Yeah, forget
Christmas.
me. Christmas. That is a movie that we watch. That's a Christmas Eve movie, I believe, for us.
Yeah.
We go do church. we go do
Yeah.
we go do church, and then we come back home and watch Christmas
Hey!
Vacation.
Shitter's full.
Oh yeah.
Great
I mean,
movies.
they got Randy Quaid. I mean, off his rocker now, but he was absolutely gold
Oh yeah.
in those movies. I think my favorite scene with Randy Quaid, and I know there's a ton in there, an absolute ton, but it definitely is from Christmas Vacation. And him and Clark are going through the store, and he is getting different bigger bags of dog food throwing into the cart as Clark is throwing stuff in too. And the last thing he does is put light bulbs in as Eddie throws this huge thing of dog food on top and just crushes the light bulbs.
Yeah.
It's it's that slapstick comedy that
Yeah.
was real big, is what Chevy was known for in the 80s.
Yeah.
And I Russ that's Vacation.
Yeah.
Ah, there you are.
So Las Vegas is I guess it's Vegas. Is it Vegas Vacation or Las
Well,
Vegas
I mean,
Vacation?
it's Vegas Vacation.
That would be my favorite one too. I've always thought that was a really cool addition to the series. And
Yeah.
it's always been enjoyable. What is
Changing 500.
what is his son? What is his name in Vegas?
Papa Giorgio.
Papa Giorgio. Yeah, all the time. Yeah. That's one of those things that has always been floating around and just comes up at random times with whether it's my dad or just around the house. It's just like Papa Giorgio. And he gets all the cars at the end.
Yep, he won
Yeah.
all the cars off of sidewalk slot machines.
Yeah.
I mean, those movies are just absolutely
Hilarious.
Sparky.
Yeah.
I mean, oh god.
Yeah. He doesn't get his Christmas bonus, or he doesn't get his bonus, so he doesn't.
Jelly of the Month Club is what he
Yeah.
gives.
Yeah.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
Yeah.
The blessing.
Yeah. That will be if Darren listens to this episode, that is definitely in one of his rewatchable movies, because that is one of his favorites. And
Oh yeah,
we
it's
always talk about it. Good movie.
It's great. I just, that slapstick. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Chevy was back in the day when he was relevant and doing good things. Kind of falling off the cliff, but I feel like that's what comedians do.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much. Either sees themselves die the hero or live long enough to become the villain. Or they just overdose.
Wait a second.
What?
Repeat that line you just said.
You either live long and you either die the hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Yeah. What movie is that from?
Are you serious right now?
Yeah, what movie is that from?
Don't do this to me, Gunner.
What movie is that from?
You know what it's from.
Just say it. Say it.
You want to know how I got these scars on my face?
Because do you know what my number 3 is?
Oh my gosh. Are you serious?
Yes, my number 3 is The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Rises is the third one.
Yeah.
Forgive me. Forgive me.
So
Forgive me, fans.
I did pick it out of the middle because I do love this movie. It came out in 2008. Christopher Nolan did a phenomenal job with this series of Batman movies, and I do love the first one. The third one is, I love Tom Hardy as Bane. I think he is
correct,
a great villain, but I think The Dark Knight actually is one of the best portrayals of Batman, besides maybe some of the cartoons, which I know a lot of people argue that some of the cartoon adaptations of Batman are great. But Heath Ledger as the Joker, unfortunately, obviously he died.
He's on your wall.
And he is on my wall. He's actually right here. You can't see him.
Sir Ulrich von Liechtenstein.
Yes, put that in a rewatchable too. Come on, A Knight's Tale. My
I
gosh,
do
what am I
that.
doing?
I know your whole wall should have been on.
Oh, my
your
whole
list.
yeah, I know. I didn't want to do that, but
Same thing. I've got my movies in the back. I was thinking, man, I really don't want to go with any movies I've really said.
yeah,
So
yeah. So I just I love the trilogy. I love all of them. The third one, obviously not as much as the first two, but I love Heath Ledger as the Joker. I love Christian Bale as Batman, and then Michael Caine as Alfred he just does so well,
he
especially
plays
in the
that.
third one.
He plays that
Yeah.
role extremely well.
Yeah, yeah. You got all the good one-liners from Heath Ledger. You got Bale, like I said before, is just a great Batman. And then there's a great cliffhanger at the end because you don't know what's going to happen in the next one. Like he's on the run at the end of The Dark Knight. So what's going to happen in Dark Knight Rises? And I think at the point where this came out, I don't know that we knew that there was going to be a Dark Knight Rises until maybe even a couple months after this came out. It's been so long ago because I think Rises came out in what 2012. Yeah, it would have been 2012 because actually Logan from United States of Paranormal and his sister were here and we went and saw it at Jefferson
Oh,
Point
nice.
in IMAX. My first IMAX movie was Dark Knight Rises, and
Oh, good one.
that plane scene at the
Oh, I
beginning.
bet it was awesome.
Oh my gosh, it was awesome. So, I mean, there was 4 years between The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises. So, you know,
Dang.
you don't know what's going to happen. It was over pretty much at that point. And I think they did a really good job with all three of them. And like I said, I just enjoy them. It's hilarious that you said that literally right before I had it as my number 3. And I will show you proof that it is in my notes.
I can't see it. The light, the glare.
There you go. Right there. The Dark Knight.
Yep, I see it.
It is there. I'm not lying to you. It was right there. So
That's hilarious.
and you might have saw my others. Oh crap. I gave it away.
I couldn't see crap. I couldn't see anything, brother.
That's all right. All right. Colton.
Yeah.
Does your number 2 make you cry?
No, it just makes me laugh.
So does mine. So it's okay.
The Rush Hour trilogy.
Oh no.
No. No.
No, I'm perfectly fine with it, but
No.
I don't know that I can sit down and just watch them. Chris Rock, right?
No, Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker, same thing.
No, it's not.
Okay, so Chris Tucker
Jackie
and
Chan.
Chris Rock both have that annoying voice where it's like, I don't know if I could really tell the difference between them. But
I get that. I can see that.
Yeah. So, yeah, go ahead.
Oh gosh.
No, okay, so I'm not gonna diss on Jackie Chan because I love Jackie Chan. Like,
He is a national icon.
Around the World in 80 Days.
Yeah.
Great movie. And then
Shanghai
what was the
Noon?
one? Shanghai Noon and
Shanghai Nights.
Yes. Great movie.
Owen Wilson. Yep, those were
Yes.
great movies.
Okay, go ahead.
But yeah, no, I picked these movies because they're probably the ones with me and my friends we probably quote and like talking randomly when we have conversations.
Okay.
I think it's just the chemistry of those two is what really draws me to it. And it doesn't matter which one. Obviously, I think the first one's the best, second one's good, the third one's
Yeah.
I mean, you can only do the same thing so many times.
I feel like that's a pretty common happening with trilogies most of the time. Not very often the third one's better than the first two.
Yeah. The reason why it's up here so high is because that either one of the movies is on TV, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I love sitting down and I'll just start quoting it.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nope. So yeah,
it,
that is my number 2 is the Rush Hour trilogy.
that makes it rewatchable. It's quotable. It's funny.
$50 million. Who you think you got? Chelsea Clinton?
That's the thing. Like when you quote that movie, you quote Chris Tucker and you do his annoying voice.
Yep.
Exactly. I'm not. I have seen all three of them, and I wouldn't say I enjoy them probably as much as you do, but I don't have the background of quoting it with my friends all the time, so that
Is it
probably
because you
helps.
don't have friends?
And that's most of the reason.
Oh, brother, you know I love you. We can quote movies. What movies do you want to quote? We can talk in movies.
Oh, we can quote my number two.
Okay, what's your number two?
It
I
does
can't
not make
remember.
me cry.
It does not make you cry. Okay, now that
It
we've
does.
established that, you may answer the
It
question.
makes me cry. Well, maybe it does make me cry of happy joy and
Happy tears? Oh
everything.
my.
I'm gonna say Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure is my number two most rewatchable movie. Um,
Well, disappointed it's not number one. I
I
don't know
did.
what your number one is
I
then.
didn't want to make it number one rewatchable because it's my number one of all time. My number one is definitely out there, and it is not. You would never guess it, but I love Bill and Ted. I can literally quote the movie word for word from the first word to the last word, and Colton has probably seen me do it.
I have. I've seen you go like for a solid like 40 minutes on it.
Yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, dude, you gotta shut up.
Yeah, well, I was also drunk and curled up in a ball on my couch, probably,
Also true.
but
Also
I was
true.
still doing it.
Yeah,
Um,
I think that was the impressive part.
yeah, directed by Stephen Herrick, came out in 1989. We've actually mentioned before that Stephen Herrick is one of my favorite directors because he's
Yep.
directed multiple movies in my top 10. Um, Science fiction, time travel. You got all the cool throwback historical figures that come back. You got all the great one-liners, 69, dude.
69,
And
dude.
everything they do with the air guitar. And you got George Carlin as Rufus, which is just
Oh
a
man.
great casted role, and he did so well. And you got to listen to this guy Rufus. He knows what he's talking
He
about.
knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. Um, it's in my top 10 because it's a movie that I love, absolutely love, 100%. Will watch it no matter what time of day, what I'm doing. If it's on TV, I'm probably gonna stop and actually devote at least half of it or more to that. I could be busy. I could be busy doing something and actually stop and watch Bill and Ted. It might be one of the only movies I could just do that with because I'm just gonna get invested in it.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
You you killed Ted, you medieval dickweed. So yes, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. If you watch the Call Guys on YouTube, it's always right here next to my face.
Always.
Always. All right, you got some honorable mentions for me?
I've just got one. It's
One.
the yeah. I mean, I could think of a couple others.
No, you good. One's fine.
It's the ocean movies, Oceans
Okay.
11, 12, and 13. I don't like the Ocean's 9 or Ocean's 10 or Ocean's 8.
The all
The old
female, the all female one.
yeah. I just tried too hard in my opinion.
That's okay.
Um,
I enjoy
but
that one actually. I don't know why. I just think it's kind of cool the take on it, but yeah, that's okay.
well, I like the original
Yeah.
Ocean's 11 with Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra,
Yeah.
Sammy, like the original Rat Pack. It was in it, and like I really enjoy that one. That's one. Throw that into this mix with those other three.
Yeah.
Like wherever I'm at, I'll stop and I'll kind of be like you, devote some sort of time to it
Yeah.
because I just like the storyline. It's a I love the they're playing checkers while you're playing chess type
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah. The back
And
and forth, one step ahead, all that good stuff.
and
Yeah.
the chemistry that every single character has is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
I love the stupid. I like how they make fun of Matt Damon the whole time. Uh, Linus,
Yeah.
poor guy. The chemistry between Clooney and Pitt is amazing. I mean, Bernie Mac is great in it.
Bernie Mac,
Uh,
Mr.
it's
3000, baby.
Yeah, Mr. 3000. Um, yeah, it's a great cast. Casey Affleck and the dude from the new Hawaii Five O.
Hmm.
Can't think of his
I
name,
don't
but
know his name.
those two are hysterical as brothers. I mean, it's just so it's I just like the storyline. The cast and the storyline make that movie for me, so that's why those movies are in my list. Honorable mentions.
Okay.
And then I was just thinking of one as we were talking about something, but I can't think of it right now to save my life. So,
It's all
what
right.
are
Let me
your
do
honor?
mine. Let me
Yeah,
do
let's
mine.
hear
Maybe
it.
you'll think of it. My first one's Roadhouse. It's one of those movies that I could
Wow.
just, if it's on, I can pull it up and watch it because I don't know why. I mean, it's a cheesy '80s action film, but it
Oh
has some
yeah.
really cool stuff going on with the bar and him being in a town where he's never been. And I think I've always really enjoyed it. And there's something about the fact at the end of the movie where he rips the guy's throat out that is just like, wow, that's pretty cool. um, get him to the Greek.
Oh
Uh,
my
I
gosh.
love that, and I would say even Forgetting Sarah Marshall would be up there too. But I think I'd rather go back and watch Get Him to the Greek because the soundtrack is great.
Oh,
If you ever
okay.
listen to the full
Yeah.
actual soundtrack to that movie, Russell Brand does a phenomenal job. Um, it's I don't know. It's always just been, and Jonah Hill is in it, of course, and
Yeah.
he does a great job. And there's some memorable scenes, some memorable lines. You got to stroke the furry wall when the world gives you a Jeffrey. You stroke the furry wall.
Yep.
Um, just a great movies, and that and Forgetting Sarah Marshall are actually in the same universe technically.
Oh
They happen,
wow.
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Russell Brand is actually in both of them. Is
Well,
the
I
same
do know
character.
that.
Yeah.
He's the
So
same
they,
character?
yeah, his same character.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
I guess
yeah.
I never put that together.
Um, Another one is Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Ooh, good one.
Um, I love the story, and I love the way they depict the whole story and all the different like stuff, like all the background stuff and all the action and all the music, and it just is. It's an appealing movie, and when it's on, you kind of get distracted and you want to watch it because it's just cool to see. And every time you watch it, you catch something new, and it's always just been a good movie. And Michael Cera's super fun to watch,
Mm,
especially in his younger days. I mean, he just did really good stuff.
I love him in Arrested Development.
Yeah. Another one, super bad. Um,
Yeah.
I've always loved that movie, and it's just Emma Stone and Jonah Hill and Michael Cera, and if I could remember McLovin's actual name, I would say it, but I don't remember what it is. It's just always been one of those, like, it appeals to every high school kid because that's
Bill
how they were.
Hader.
Bill Hader as the cop. Was Bill Hader?
Bill Hader. Bill Hader was the dude from Hot Rod.
Oh, okay, gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha.
There it
We
is.
got Bill Hader. Yeah, and he played a
With
cop.
Seth Rogen.
Yep, Seth Rogen alongside Seth Rogen, which is cool. And then the last one I have for honorable mention is the Royal Tenenbaums, which I cannot remember the director's name for the life of me, but he is one of those that has like the same characters in all of his movies.
Oh, okay.
And then this one's like a story about a family of adopted people, adopted kids that their father fake dies to try to bring them all together.
Oh,
And
wow.
it's just a really interesting movie, and it's kind of a comedy slash drama. And I don't know, I've always enjoyed it. And we actually watched it in college, and I'd watched it before that. And then realizing that the director did certain things that they were teaching us in college was kind of cool to say, well, I've seen this movie and I never realized that until somebody taught me about it. So um, I kind of watch it for that reason, I
Hmm.
guess. It's got a cool story and it's got some funny moments. But I watch it because of that, because I learned so much about it in college. It just captures my attention. So honorable mentions. I'm out of breath.
Yeah.
What you got for your number one, Colton?
Man, my number one, I don't know if I'm pretty sure I've told you what I call these movies.
Mm-hmm.
Um so I think you'll know. I don't know if I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it on the pod. But it's the Cornetto trilogy.
Mm. Yes, you have
Shaun of the
Shaun of the
Dead,
Dead.
Hot Fuzz,
Mm-hmm.
At World's End.
Yep. The
I
boys.
love Edgar Wright's movies with Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. I can watch those, quote those, all the live long day.
Yeah.
I don't, and I know the third one is not good compared to the first two.
Yeah.
Um, because I actually like Hot Fuzz just a smidge more than Shaun of the Dead. Just a smidge, not much.
Really?
Yes. Um.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, Tony's gonna kill me. He made me watch it. I cannot think of it. But Shaun of the Dead has a lot of characters from the TV show that he made with Edgar Wright, who directed it. It was
Okay.
a TV show. It's in Britain. Golly, I can't. I gotta look it up, man. I can't think of it right now.
You're good.
Space. No,
Space.
no, I don't think so.
So I've watched a lot of I mean, Shaun of the Dead I've seen multiple times. Hot Fuzz I think I've only seen once or twice. Um, Shaun of the Dead was always just
What?
interesting to me because it was a zombie movie that was funny, and I was used to playing, Resident Evil and all this stuff with scary zombies. So you're seeing these guys that are just having fun and just messing, obviously not having fun, but messing around and doing all this stuff, and they were hilarious. And when Nick Frost gets turned, when does he get turned? Towards the end of the movie?
Yeah,
Or
Space. Space is the movie,
it
or
is
it's the
Space?
TV show. Space is
Okay,
the TV show that they did. Nick Frost gets turned at the very end.
so that
They're in the cellar of the Winchester.
yeah,
Um, and he gets bit, and they're down there.
yeah.
And yeah, they go up on they go up on the lift. Him and Meg, I think I can't remember her name right now. Saved my life, really. Uh, Meg's the only thing that came to mind, even though I don't think that's it. But that movie, Shaun of the Dead, it's just fantastic. I mean, if you watch the first half, it's technically the first half of the movie is this, and then the second half of the movie is just reversed
Yeah,
to where they Katie bar the door. I mean, it was
yeah.
bad. But there's the scene, I don't know if you remember, they're running behind in alleys, and they come up to another group that is just like them but the
Hmm.
exact opposite.
Yep.
The girl is his girlfriend from Space, the TV show.
Okay.
So they give a lot of nods to that TV series because it's actually it's Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg. It's kind of like one of their first things that they kind of did together.
Nice.
Um, but yeah, I love Hot Fuzz. It's got it's got a ton of cool. That's another the Cornetto trilogy. The first two mostly are really really um talked about with my friends again.
So you guys coined the Cornetto trilogy, right? Like that's what you guys call it, or is that what is actually
I
called
believe
online?
it is unofficially officially called the Cornetto trilogy.
Okay.
I believe it was more cult pushed, cult
Okay.
fandom pushed
Yeah.
because there's always a Cornetto in the movies,
Yeah.
some way, shape, or form.
Gotcha.
And it's and Nick Frost is always he's always the one going after the Cornetto.
Yeah.
Um, he goes to the shop in Shaun of the Dead. He tells Sean to get him a Cornetto, and then the second time he's in a shop buying a Cornetto,
Yeah.
and the third one is a post-apocalyptic type movie, and he's on this cage and he's looking out into the great unknown, and this cornetto wrapper just comes up onto the screen and onto the fence, and he's like oh oh oh, he's like I want that. um so yeah, I think it is just dubbed by me and my friends and others
As the
as the
Cornetto.
cornetto trilogy, and I've
Nice.
had a cornetto.
Okay.
It's just ice cream and a chocolate dip cone. It's nothing special. But I said I've had one.
Hey, that's all that matters. You still have the
Um,
wrapper.
I used to have the top. I think I gave the top to my buddy.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Um, but yeah, I thought that might be weird if customs went through my stuff and said, "Why you got this?" And
Just
a long
taking it
story.
home, guys. I'm just taking it home.
But yeah, I love those. Those movies are great. Um, I
Nice.
can turn those on whenever, pick them up whenever, quote them whenever. Honorable mention, Friday. The movie Friday.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That
Because
was the movie I couldn't think of.
yeah,
Honorable mention, Friday. I
yeah.
can quote that movie. That is hysterical.
That's the one you
I
made me
I
watch a scene from, wasn't it?
I, probably
I think so. I'm pretty sure the gas station scene.
gas station scene.
No, maybe I'm thinking
No,
of a
I don't
different
remember.
movie.
I don't remember that gas station scene. Oh wait, or were they at a convenience store? The
Yeah,
guy
yeah,
slips and
yeah,
falls.
yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my neck! Oh my
Yeah,
back!
oh my neck.
Oh my neck and my back! We can
Yeah,
set on a court right now
yeah, yep.
for
That's the
$40.
that's it. It's like a convenience store in like the
Yep.
city. Yeah,
Oh
nice,
yeah.
nice.
My favorite. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, flips it. 120, 140. Man, that's $100. You owe me. You best be selling. You best be selling. Don't be smoking my stuff, Smokey. Smokey. Oh yeah. That's got a ton. How you get 5 on your day off of work? They got me stealing boxes. Doing what?
Stealing boxes.
So yeah, Friday is definitely a movie that
Yeah,
I just love that movie.
yeah.
Okay, brother, you've got my number one and a post honorable mention. What is your number one, sir?
I don't know if you're going to be disappointed in me for this one because I don't know that we've ever talked about this movie.
Interesting. I like where this is
Um,
going.
I don't think it's ever been mentioned. I don't think we've ever talked outside of the Call Guys even about this movie.
Oh my.
2010, directed by David Fincher, starring Jesse Eisenberg, Andrew Garfield, and Justin Timberlake.
The Social Network?
The Social Network.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't know why, but I absolutely love this movie. And I think it's just the actual like story of it and all the stuff with Jesse Eisenberg's character Flash or Mark Zuckerberg flashing back and like thinking as the trial's going, and then you're seeing it in person, then you're seeing what's actually happening now, and then you're seeing a flashback of his stuff between the twins at college, and the stuff between him and Eduardo, and then Sean Parker comes in, which is Justin Timberlake's character. I've I've always loved this movie, and I've always watched it if it's on because I just super enjoy it. Don't be walking away from. Do you have it up there? He's got it up. He's got it up there. Hey, I don't feel so bad. You got it on your shelf. I literally I just have always liked this movie, and I think Andrew Garfield, it's one of his best roles besides what we've talked about the past,
Oh
couple
wow.
weeks, is that Tick Tick Boom. It might be one of his best roles.
Oh my
And
gosh. I hope he gets some sort of award
yeah,
for that
but
for
I
that
love
role.
him. I love him as Eduardo in this movie, and I just think it was a great way to tell the story of how this entity of Facebook was made. And I literally in my notes have, who would have thought that a movie about Facebook would be so compelling? And I don't know that I can answer that question because they're telling a story about what actually happened, but twisting it and turning it to make it into
Yeah.
what they what a writer that's what a writer does, right? I mean, they're not going to write exactly what happened. They need to twist and turn it. But yeah, I've always just, if it's on TV, if it's, I'm pulling up the guide and then there's the Social Network, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to watch it. I'm not sure that it's really quotable. I don't know if there's too many quotable moments in it, but it's got a really cool story. It's got a lot going on. It does have some funny moments, but very much so a drama. Like I said, Andrew Garfield does a phenomenal job. Heck, even Jesse Eisenberg does a great job just playing. And I know he's probably listening because he listens to everything. Mark Zuckerberg. But he plays the mundane, boring dude that Mark Zuckerberg is. Like, he just looks like an alien and just goes,
Gosh. You're ridiculous.
yeah, no. But I do. I love it. Do you like it? You have it on DVD, so I'm assuming that means you actually kind of enjoy the movie.
Yeah, I did. I don't have it pegged as a real. I'm more of like, a year a guy maybe.
Okay.
Like I don't rush to go watch it. If
I
something
wouldn't
else is
say
on and that's on, I'd probably go with something else.
I wouldn't say I would pull it off my shelf and put it in and watch it. But
Mhm.
if it is on, I'm watching it.
Mm.
Or like if I'm like flipping through, I don't know if it's on a streaming platform, but I'm flipping through and I see it, I might be like, yeah, I'm watching Social Network.
Mm.
So I mean, I don't know. I've when I was in college and kind of at the base of Netflix and Hulu and all this stuff becoming really popular, I would take DVDs for my dad's and I would take them to school and I would put them in my Xbox and watch them. And the Social Network was one of those that I would have for a while and watch it and then take it back. But
Mm.
um, yeah, I just when I was thinking of the movies that I watch, and you know, it's one of those things. It's like anything else we've made a list for. It's kind of hard to pick them
Oh
because
yeah.
there are so many options. But then when you talk about it, you think of more. And it was one of those first ones I thought of actually, and that's why I was like, well, maybe it should be my number one. And I didn't want to put Bill and Ted as my number one, but
Fair enough.
yeah, I enjoy it. I really do, and I think it's a great movie, and I think it's a great depiction, and I think it got some great casting and great story,
That's a good one.
and I could watch it right now.
Who am I to tell you that you're wrong? Your opinion is wrong. Who am I?
If you're the person that parks your cart in the middle of the aisleway, you have no right.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
No, yeah,
That's great. No, man,
good,
I thought that was good. That was
yeah,
good.
good list.
I hope to hear some responses from people. Tell people that Gunner is wrong, please. Tell him how bad that movie is, please. But
Tell
no.
tell Colton to suck it.
Oh man. You just wait. You just wait. I call him on Fridays.
Yeah.
I'm going to take care of that real quick. Fix him up real good.
Yeah. That was good stuff.
Oh man, that's great. Living out dreams. That's all you're doing. Living out dreams. No, but I would definitely love to hear feedback from folks on this because everybody has a different type of um everyone has a different type of guilty pleasure-esque movie
I
or
feel
what
like
they
if I
find
stare at
funny.
them, I feel like if I stare at them, they'll email us. thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com. Send us an email.
What's the email? What's the email?
thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com.
Oh, okay. You win. I will send you my list. Please
Yes,
stop staring into my
please,
soul.
please, anybody out there that listens to the Call Guys and enjoys what we have, what we talk about, and what we're saying, send us your top tens, top fives, top threes. And there's so many episodes out now. This is episode 21. I mean, there's episodes out. We have lists. Send us your list. Let us know. We'll read them off on the air, and we'll give you a shout out for sending us your list. So yeah, anything. Top 5 sports movies, top 3 musicals, top 5 rewatchable movies. Send us your top 10 Marvel, your top 10 favorite movies of all time. I mean, we're ready to hear it. Let us know how we're doing. Send us recommendations for future episodes, a question of the pod, just anything you want us to talk about, and we will somehow fit it into the Call Guys podcast. Colton, do you have anything else you wanted to add on rewatchable movies?
I think John Wayne movies.
Yeah.
You hinted at, Back to the Future 3 is
With
a
the Western.
Western. I grew up on John Wayne movies. I have rewatched every John Wayne movie probably 1,000 times.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just something that me and my dad enjoyed doing was watching John Wayne movies. I used to take pride in knowing when in the movies that John Wayne dies in, because there's not too many movies he dies in.
Yeah.
And I've seen a ton of John Wayne movies, and that's what made me think about Rewatchable, is those watching those movies with my dad. And that just comes back to what movies kind of mean to me, and how they're special to me, and how I'm excited to share those movies with my son and future
Yeah.
children. Like I it's something, movies just hold that special place, and I don't know why, and I don't get it, but
It's inevitable that
yeah.
William's going to be trying a big bank soon.
Oh my gosh. That's too funny.
Yeah.
But I mean, just I just really really enjoy movies, man. I just
Yeah, me too.
everything about everything what they mean, even if they're I'd rather watch, a bad, there's a saying, a bad day at golf's better than a good day at work. And I feel like that way with movies. I'd rather watch a bad movie than go to work.
Yeah.
And yeah, so movies just are always going to have a special place in my heart.
You know
So
what, Colton? I'm thinking maybe sometime in December we'll go watch movies instead of going to work.
that sounds awesome. I'm down for that. I would be so down for that.
Maybe for your birthday we'll do that this year again. I think we should.
I'd love for that to be a tradition.
Yeah. Anything else?
Man, thank you again, man. You once again killed it.
I
Hosting.
I ain't done no plugs yet.
I know you ain't done no plugs yet, but I know you're about to kill them plugs.
Yeah.
But no, just thank you for the listeners out there. You guys do a great job of listening with minimum feedback.
A listen's a listen, whether you're saying
That's
anything or
true.
not. We
That's
still
true.
happy you're here.
That's true. So yeah, we're just happy you've stuck with us this long and put up with our shenanigans and enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoy this as much as we enjoy doing this.
Yeah. And to any new listeners out there, anybody that's found us, through the grapevine or just like came across us out of nowhere, thank you for stopping in and listening. Whether you listen to 20 minutes of an episode or you listen to all 21 so far, I thank you for being here and helping us out and showing us some decent numbers. That way we feel better about coming in the next week and doing more. And it's important for us to feel good about what we're doing, and you guys are really helping us feel good. So I am very thankful for everybody that takes the time to listen.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah. All right. So everybody, you can get us wherever you get your podcasts, whether that is Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher, anywhere you get your podcast podcasted. You can also find us on any of your social media accounts, whether that be Facebook, facebook.com/thecallguyspod, Instagram @thecallguys, or TikTok @thecallguyspodcast. Send us, like I said before, any of your recommendations you can send to thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com. And also check out our merch store. We do have some cool shirts and stuff on there. So go check it out. If you feel like supporting us, go ahead and buy a shirt. Take a picture of you in it. We'll post it on our social media accounts. That is thecallguyspodcaststore.com. Also, while you're checking out stuff under the Emperor's umbrella, check out the check out the Golden Image Podcast. That is facebook.com/Golden Image Podcast. And the Murdnerds Podcast. That is facebook.com/Murdnerds. Go back and check out the crossover episode we did with them.
Killed it.
And check out the
Figuratively.
United States of Paranormal podcast. That is facebook.com/United States of Paranormal. Colton, thank
Gunner.
you, sir. Thank you for being here with me. And man, I'm having so much fun doing this. I'm happy we're both here. I'm happy we find the time out of the week to do this, and I'm excited to keep going. I really am. So
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Keep it up. We just got to keep it up. Keep our heads down, nose to the grindstone. Bring our lunch buckets to work.
That's right. And don't stand in the middle of the aisle at the grocery
Please
store.
don't. Please don't. If you do, may God have mercy on your soul.
Everybody,
you have been warned.
I'm going to thank you for listening. We'll see you next time.